Declaration Dignitas Infinita on Human Dignity. Dicastery for the Doctrine of the Faith. Introduction. Dignitas Infinita. Infinite dignity in Latin. Every human person possesses an infinite dignity, inalienably grounded in his or her very being, which prevails in and beyond every circumstance, state, or situation the person may ever encounter. This principle, which is fully recognizable even by reason alone, underlies the primacy of the human person and the protection of human rights. In the light of revelation, the Church resolutely reiterates and confirms the ontological dignity of the human person, created in the image and likeness of God and redeemed in Jesus Christ. From this truth, the Church draws the reasons for her commitment to the weak and those less endowed with power, always insisting on the primacy of the human person and the defense of his or her dignity beyond every circumstance. This ontological dignity and the unique and eminent value of every man and woman in the world was reaffirmed authoritatively in the Universal Declaration of Human Rights issued by the United Nations General Assembly on December the 10th of the year 1948. As we commemorate the 75th anniversary of that document, the Church sees an opportunity to proclaim anew its conviction that all human beings created by God and redeemed by Christ must be recognized and treated with respect and love due to their inalienable dignity. The anniversary also provides an occasion for the Church to clarify some frequent misconceptions concerning human dignity and to address some serious and urgent related issues. From the start of her mission and propelled by the gospel, the Church has striven to affirm human freedom and promote the rights of all people. In recent times, thanks to the voices of the pontiffs, the Church has made a deliberate effort to formulate this commitment in more explicit terms through a renewed call to acknowledge the fundamental dignity inherent in every person. On this point, Pope St. Paul VI affirmed that no anthropology equals that of the Church regarding the human person, particularly concerning the person's originality, dignity, and the intangibility and richness of the person's fundamental rights, sacredness, capacity for education, aspiration to a complete development, and immortality. Pope St. John Paul II, during the Third General Conference of Latin American and Caribbean bishops in Puebla in 1979, affirmed that human dignity is a gospel value that can't be despised without greatly offending the Creator. This dignity is infringed on the individual level when due regard is not had for values such as freedom, the right to profess one's religion, physical and mental integrity, the right to essential goods to life. It is infringed on the social and political level when man can't exercise his right of participation, or when he is subjected to unjust and unlawful coercion, or submitted to physical or mental torture, etc. If the Church makes herself present in the defense of or in the advancement of human dignity, she does so in line with her mission, which, although it is religious and not social or political, can't fail to consider man in the entirety of his being. Then, in 2010, addressing the Pontifical Academy for Life, Pope Benedict XVI declared that human dignity is a fundamental principle which faith in the crucified and risen Jesus Christ has always defended, especially when, in respect of the simplest and most defenseless people, it is disregarded. On another occasion, speaking to economists, he stated that the economy and finance do not exist for their own sake. They are only an instrument or means. Their sole end is the human person and his or her total fulfillment in dignity. This is the only capital, and it is right to safeguard it. From the start of his pontificate, Pope Francis has invited the Church to believe in a Father who loves all men and women with an infinite love, realizing that he thereby confers upon them an infinite dignity. He has strongly emphasized that such immense dignity is an original datum, something given, that is to be acknowledged faithfully and welcomed with gratitude. Based on this recognition and acceptance of human dignity, a new coexistence among people can be established that develops social relationships in the context of authentic fraternity. Indeed, only by acknowledging the dignity of each human person can we contribute to the rebirth of a universal aspiration to fraternity. Pope Francis affirms that the wellspring of human dignity and fraternity is in the gospel of Jesus Christ. But even human reason can arrive at this conviction through reflection and dialogue, since the dignity of others is to be respected in all circumstances, not because that dignity is something we have invented or imagined, but because human beings possess an intrinsic worth superior to that of material objects and contingent situations. This requires that they be treated differently. That very human being possesses an inalienable dignity is a truth that corresponds to human nature apart from all cultural change. Pope Francis concludes, human beings have the same inviolable dignity in every age of history, and no one can consider himself or herself authorized by particular situations to deny this conviction or to act against it. From this perspective, Pope Francis' encyclical Fratelli Tutti constitutes a kind of Magna Carta of our contemporary tasks to protect and promote human dignity.